Learning about heat. Transfer of heat. Let us observe that a frying pan becomes hot when it is kept on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Let's see how does it cool down. The heat is being transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So, in both the cases, the heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. Activity. Take a rod or flat strip of a metal, say of aluminium or iron. Fix a few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distances. Clamp the rod to a stand. Now, heat the other end of the rod and observe. You will observe that the wax pieces begin to fall. Conduction. The process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is called as conduction. In solids, generally, the heat is transferred by the process of conduction. We have observed that the metallic pan for cooking has a plastic or wooden handle. We can lift a hot pan by holding it from the handle without getting hurt. Activity. Heat water in a beaker. Collect some articles such as steel spoon, plastic scale, pencil and divider. Dip one end of each of these articles in hot water. Wait for a few minutes and then touch the other end. The materials like aluminium, iron and copper allow heat to pass through them easily, are conductors of heat, whereas materials like plastic and wood do not allow heat to pass through them easily, so they are poor conductors of heat. They are known as insulators. Convection of heat in water. Take a beaker and fill it 2/3 with water. Place it on a tripod. When water is still, place a crystal of potassium permanganate at the bottom of the flask. Place a candle below the beaker to heat it. The air near the heat source gets hot and rises. The air from the sides come in to take its place. In this way, the air gets heated. The following activity confirms this idea. Activity. Light a candle. Keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. Notice that towards the top, the air gets heated by convection. Therefore, the hand above the flame feels hot. On the sides, however, there is no convection and air does not feel as hot as at the top. The people living in the coastal areas experience an interesting phenomenon. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the water. The air over the land becomes hotter and rises up. The cooler air from the sea rushes in towards the land to take its place. The warm air from the land moves towards the sea to complete the cycle. The air from the sea is called the sea breeze. To receive the cooler sea breeze, the windows of the houses in coastal areas are made to face the sea. At night, it is exactly the reverse. The water cools down more slowly towards the land. So, the cool air from the land moves towards the sea. This is called the land breeze. Radiation. When we come out in the sun, we feel warm. How does the heat from the sun reach us? It cannot reach us by conduction or convection, as there is no medium such as air in most part of the space between the earth and the sun. From the sun, the heat comes to us by another process known as radiation. The transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. It can take place whether a medium is present or not. When we sit in front of a room heater, we get heat by this process. A hot utensil kept away from the flame cools down as it transfers heat to the surroundings by radiation. Our body too gives heat to the surroundings and receives heat from it by radiation. All hot bodies radiate heat. When this heat falls on some object, a part of it is reflected, a part is absorbed, and a part may be transmitted. The temperature of the object increases due to the absorbed part of the heat. Kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. You know that in summer we prefer light colored clothes and in winter we usually wear dark colored clothes. Dark color absorbs more heat and therefore we feel comfortable with dark colored clothes in the winter. Light colored clothes reflect most of the heat that falls on them and therefore we feel more comfortable wearing them in the summer. Do you know? We often use electricity and fuels like coal and wood to keep our houses cool or warm. It is possible to construct buildings that are not affected much by heat and cold outside. It can be done by constructing outer walls of buildings using hollow bricks so that they trap layers of air. Woolen clothes keep us warm in winter. In the winter, we use woolen clothes. Wool is a poor conductor of heat. Moreover, there is air trapped in between the wool fibers. This air prevents the flow of heat from our body to the cold surroundings. So we feel warm. Did you know? The Celsius scale was devised by a Swedish astronomer, Anders Celsius, in 1742. Strangely, he fixed the temperature of the boiling water as 0 degrees centigrade and of freezing water as 100 degrees centigrade. However, this order was reversed very soon. Summary. There are 3 ways in which heat can flow from one object to another. These are conduction, convection, and radiation. The materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are conductors of heat. The materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are called insulators. Dark-colored objects absorb radiation better than the light-colored objects. That is all in this lesson, students. Good going. Keep learning.